Hey, and welcome to Matt and Jess TV. I am Matt Roast.
And I'm Jessica Bun Bun.
And welcome to our new edition of Big Brother 27 live feed spoilers. We are here on day 44 of the game. This is eviction night eve, which means, of course, there are a million different things to get into. But first and foremost, we have to remind you guys of something here. We don't always get to present the updates we want. Sometimes we have to deliver news that makes us upset and or sad.
Yeah, and that update is that Rylie probably not going home.
Okay, I'll take all the personal stuff with Rylie out here for a moment and just talk about the game and how much I think this is a huge mistake keeping Rylie in this game, like enormously huge. And I'm not just saying this solely because I'm having Big Brother 21 Jackson and Holly flashbacks, but a little bit. But beyond all of that, it's also this idea of, okay, you're not going to get rid of someone who has shown he won an HOH before it was taken from him. He's won a blockbuster. You just think about a lot of guys have already left the house. And if we're talking about kind of athletic competitions, there's going to be some that Keanu's not that good at because he's a really heavy, big, muscular dude. You really want to keep someone like that around where certain endurance competitions, Rylie's probably going to be really, really good at them?
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on who's riding with Rylie, if that's good or if that's bad. But for Rachel, he's going to be coming after you.
Yeah, and she knows it. And I think the big question is, of course, okay, what can she do about it? And we talked yesterday about, okay, she got a new alliance together.
Right.
She got the judges, which was really, really good.
She's trying to work with Vince.
Yes.
Like, she's done as much as she possibly can
Yeah.
to get him out the door.
Like that update was a new hope. And we basically now are going into the Empire Strikes Back. Like we are going in to the darker timeline just because of the fact, and I didn't think we would be saying this, but it feels like Ava, of all people, may end up being the plan ruiner here, and a lot is going to go south just because if Ava's not with the people trying to get rid of Rylie, like, does anything else still matter? Like, are the numbers even still going to be there?
Yeah, and we are going to get into the numbers to see if they really can be there without Ava, because if she makes this decision and she really is the vote that's going to switch it around, I mean, how are you all going to feel about Ava? Because there is a lot of Ava fans out there. We like Ava as well, but like, you're going to keep Rylie? How is that really helping your game?
It's really going to hurt my heart. I have preseason, Ava and Keanu were my two favorites. And it's like, I have now cycled through periods where I've been extremely mad at both of them for, like, I am upset about Ava making this move, mostly just because keeping Rylie, it's just like, none of those people on the Rylie side to me really feel like, they'll keep her around, but it's like, are they riding with her that hard?
No.
I mean, at the same time, is anyone riding for Rylie that hard other than Will? But then there's also Rachel. You did have a final two with Rachel, Ava. What's going on there?
Yeah, I guess that's out the window.
Okay, we have so much more to get into here, but before we dive into it, be sure to hit that subscribe button because we are here every single day with Big Brother 27 live feed updates. We really appreciate your guys' support. And beyond just that, today CBS announced the Survivor 49 cast. We are going to be back talking Survivor once again. I really hope this season's fun doesn't get overshadowed completely by 50, but also The Amazing Race, all Big Brother edition, or at least Big Brother cast members and a loved one edition. We're going to have a lot of fun with that.
Absolutely. So hit that subscribe button. It really helps support us here at the channel. And if you want to talk to us further about Big Brother, you can head over to our Patreon. We'll have a link for you in the description if you want to chat with us more over there. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, guys. We very much appreciate that. We're going to try to get into now the situation with Ava because it's a little bit complicated. We'll frame this through the discussion of just the numbers for now and a hypothetical Rylie versus Mickey showdown. That Morgan's won the blockbuster. These two are still on the block.
Right.
It feels like the people who would potentially get rid of Rylie in this situation would be Will, Ashley, Morgan, and Vince. And the reason for that would be the formation of the Judges Alliance, which included all of them, plus then Rachel. The problem is you need one more vote to make this happen. You look at Keanu, Lauren, Catherine, Kelly, like, are any of them gonna flip?
No, it's really about Ava and seeing if maybe Will can work some magic on her, Rachel, somebody who she's close with to work some magic on her.
Yeah, and this is the problem. And really, there's two different problems here. Like, first and foremost, it's just that Ava does not really have any fondness for Mickey right now at all. Like, we've gone into all of her frustrations the past several days, the way that she talks about some other people,
Yes.
conversations that Ava's overheard, even the idea that, okay, was Mickey trying to run Ava's HOH? Like, there's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah.
But then there's also the fact that Ava does not trust Vince at all. Like, this dates back to, of course, when Ava put him on the block. And I think from her vantage point, it's just like, why am I going to make some sort of move to put myself on an island with you guys when Vince is just going to go back on it anyway? It's just like, I don't trust him, so why am I going to want to work with him?
Which completely makes sense. But at the same time, then all of us that want Rylie to go home,
Yeah.
he's not going to go home. And it really does feel like it is going to come down to her in that scenario.
Yeah, and I think this is one of those, I'm going to call it facepalm weeks, where you just want to facepalm because you're just like, if everyone just came together and had some real conversations, I think something could be done about this.
It's just hard because this is the Big Brother house. This is a house built on lies. Everybody lies, and it is extremely hard to trust people.
Like, here is just a novel thought, and here's a tinfoil hat for everyone here. It's just that, why don't the members of the judges all kind of be like, you know what? Let's just make a new alliance. We'll call it the courthouse. And Ava can be in the courthouse. We'll bring her in. We'll act like we're creating this alliance for the first time.
Yep.
We've never had any discussions about it. And if she's locked into a larger group that has a name that makes her feel special, like, maybe she will want to go forward with this and won't feel so much like everybody's just coming to her individually and talking about this, because that's not really as much reassurance.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. The problem is that if she walks in the door and Vince is there, she may just be like, sure, I'll join this alliance, but then leave the room and be like, no, because you're right. I mean, she put him on the block. She wanted him out.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden she's going to be like, oh, okay, now we're working together. We're in an alliance. I don't know how she trusts it because it's really just been a matter of days.
It's all just this really frustrating ripple effect too, where it's this situation where, Will's tried to talk to Ava, Rachel's tried to talk to Ava, Ava's told Will, it's like, okay, I'll sleep on this. I'll try to figure out exactly how it is that I feel tomorrow. But at the same time, she has also talked about, okay, yeah, I do want Mickey out. I might keep Rylie here because of all of that. And it creates this situation then where if you're Will and all of a sudden you're like, well, we don't really have the numbers anymore to get rid of Rylie. Like, why am I then going to vote to get rid of Rylie? I'm going to go with where the numbers are.
Really, they need to have the conversation with her privately to be like, we have snowed Vince into thinking that he should get
Yes.
rid of one of his allies in Rylie. Rylie is a number for him. So if you want to hurt Vince, we need to get out people that are working with him that would throw votes to him. And that is Rylie. That is not Mickey. Mickey's not working with Vince.
It's just so weird to me, this whole situation, because it's just all these people who Ava's been working with almost the entire game are all collectively on this side that she is really reluctant to work with. And then it's like, on the other side, like, what's Rylie done for you? What's Catherine done for you? Like, Kelly? Keanu? Like, I love Keanu, but he's terrible at the game. It's just like, what's the benefit of being like, okay, I want to go with these people?
I think she's really just looking at it from a more personal standpoint at this point, that she has overheard these things that Mickey has been saying, seeing the things that Mickey is doing, and doesn't like it. And I understand. I don't like it either. I don't think that Mickey treats people very well. And I'd be sitting in the house being like, do I want to continue to live in that type of situation? And I don't think she has any love lost for Rylie either. We've said before that she's actually gone to Catherine and been like, outside the game, you all right? Like, is everything actually okay with you in this whole Rylie thing? So I think for Ava, she also sees that there's something over there as well. But who's really affecting her mentally in the game? It's Mickey.
I think it's just kind of coming down to a lot of that. And I think there's these other variables that we can kind of sort of throw in here as well. And we've talked about the distrust that she has with Ashley, and she feels like Ashley talks too much. So it's like, even if she has this quote unquote final two with Rachel. You know, Rachel's close to Ashley. Like, I think Ava's true number one here is Will, and I think they're gonna do whatever they can to be on the same page. And I think Will cares about the judges, but Will's primary motivation right now when it comes to his alliances is just staying true to Ava, as annoying as that might be.
Absolutely. So I think if he or other people are not able to sway her, Will is going to stick with what Ava is doing and go in that direction.
And here is where we do get into Vince, where I think we would all love to sit down and sort of believe a little bit in Vince, that Vince is going to really work with Rachel. He's going to find a way to actually come together, combine their powers, Captain Planet style, and like the whole world is going to be saved from Rylie being in the house.
Listen, I think that if it benefits him this week, he will do what he has to do. The thing about Vince, I know there's lots of not Vince fans out of there.
Yeah.
I am not one of them. I am a Vince fan. I understand that not everybody likes that he uses, you know, his emotions and being a sad sack and all that. But the other thing that Vince is really good at,
Yeah.
besides manipulating people with emotions and mirroring people and having people be heard, is that he is very adaptable to this game. Who here felt that like 5 days ago that he would be even considering working with Rachel? None of us, right?
Yeah.
But because he is adaptable in that way, that's what makes him such a good player, whether you like his gameplay or not.
Yeah, there are just times, and this is what confuses me as a viewer, even a viewer of the live feeds, like just take the show part out of it, but it's just like, I will see him have conversations and I will be like, oh, he's totally with Rachel now. Like, here is a great
Right.
example. We talked about this several days ago. One of my favorite moments on the feeds all season was listening to Vince and Rachel and Keanu talk about whether it was Mario Kart or Legend of Zelda, like all these old school video games. And overnight, Rachel and Vince, they stayed up really, really late, just having this solo conversation. There was some game stuff mixed in there, but they were talking about Oregon Trail
A
and
favorite.
I know, don't die of dysentery, but also, you know, Carmen Sandiego. Like, I grew up on Carmen Sandiego. I'm
Yeah.
a huge geography buff because of it. But like, they were having all this really fun conversation. You know, you could see that Rachel was really trying to form a bond with him. She was even telling him, I can help you find a job outside of this game. Like, the job stuff is really funny, but it's just like, I don't think Vince cares about that. I think what Vince really cares about is just like, okay, can you help me in my game? And I think because the judges also includes Morgan, I think Vince is not going to be inclined to go against Rachel right away, because then it's like, okay, well, then that's going to upset Morgan. So I'm going to create an analogy here because, as some of you may know, I'm a huge basketball fan, a huge Toronto Raptors fan in particular.
Shocking.
Yeah, I know. But okay, so there's this halftime performer at basketball games. Like, she is a legend, and her name is Red Panda. And what she does is she kicks all these bowls on her head while riding a unicycle, and she just makes sure that none of the bowls fall off her head. And right now, Vince has so many different bowls on his head. He wants to preserve this judges alliance. As of right now, he hasn't mentioned the name of the judges to anyone outside of this. Like, he and Rachel said, and they were like, okay, we're not going to tell Keanu about this, because if Keanu knew about the judges and he's not in it, Keanu's going to be upset.
Absolutely. But then he still has to deal with what's going on with Lauren. Like,
Yes.
he is very close with her, and he's not going to want to upset that apple cart either.
Yeah, he needs to make sure that she is balanced, because if he goes against her and she knows about it, then it's like, what's the point of all of this? And I think the idea then, okay, she went out of her way to use the veto on him.
Yep.
And then she's going to suspect him not voting with it. She's going to
Yep.
feel extra betrayed by that. And
Absolutely.
yeah, and she should, like, you know, take our emotion out of this. Like, I'd be furious if I was Lauren and it was just like, I helped you and you couldn't even do this one thing for me. And he has already tried in some ways to sort of, I guess we can say, soft launch this idea of, okay, maybe I'll get rid of Rylie. And he's tried to have these conversations with her, just kind of slyly bringing it up. And she has not bought into any of it. Like, for somebody as historically indecisive as her, like, she's pretty clear that she is not getting rid of Rylie.
No, she's not. And while she has been indecisive, she has been decisive with Vince. It seems to
Yeah.
be really the only person that she has laid out what she wants or what her plans are or what's going to be going on, even using the veto. When it comes to Vince, Vince is the person she's really riding with. And that's why I've always been sort of sitting back, and even though, like, yeah, there's this possibility of working with Rachel and the judges and all
Yeah.
of this sort of stuff, Lauren really is the person that he should be bringing to the end and really riding with. Lauren will do anything for him, including expose her own game to be like, I'm using this on Vince because I am working with Vince. It's
Yeah.
at that point, why not continue to work with her or find a way to bring her into this judges alliance?
Yeah, he needs her. Like, she's somebody who could win endurance competitions. She seems well built for that. And I mean, Morgan is as well. But it's like he needs to juggle all these different elements here. And so I think he is in a spot where, okay, if Lauren's not going to be on their side and they know that, okay, Ava's not going to be on our side, at least in a situation where it's Mickey versus Rylie up on that block, he's going to be like, well, there's no point in me voting for this side either. And, he can relay that to Morgan, and then they can just all go ahead and be on the same page, and then nobody's mad at him. Now, there is this tiny chance here that if there was a situation where Vince turned out to be the swing vote, whether it's with Ava or somebody else, he could still entertain the idea then of, okay, I'm going to vote to get rid of Rylie, and then I'm just going to blame it on Keanu and say that Rachel convinced Keanu, and then just go ahead and be done with it.
Absolutely. He can do that. And some people will probably believe him because he is very good at convincing people to do stuff. I still feel like this is the wrong move for him. Rylie was never coming after Vince. This doesn't really make a lot of sense to me for him to get rid of him right now. Rylie is a vote for Vince, Catherine, Lauren, it doesn't make any sense. It's crazy that they've convinced him that this is a good idea instead of getting rid of Mickey, who is someone who would come after Vince.
I think it's all just so unbelievably tricky just because of the idea that it's like, okay, Riley's not coming after you now. He's in a showmance. And yeah, that puts a target on him. But at the same time, Vince has to kind of be constantly thinking, what's the ripple effect of this? Where if you get rid of Rylie, what's Lauren going to think about this? What's
right.
Kelly going to think about this? And Kelly is another person who does not seem to be inclined at all to get rid of Rylie. Like, there is sort of a 4-person pack now of Rylie and Kelly and Catherine and Lauren. Like, it's not like the judges where they've got a name or like that sort of thing right now, but it's just Kelly does not like Mickey at all. And that's another person that Vince has to kind of sort of entertain.
Absolutely. And he's not going to change her mind to not go after Mickey if Mickey's up there.
No. What I did find interesting, though, is that in the whole conversation between Rachel and Vince overnight, and this is why I do believe there's something here. I'm not saying there's like final 2 potential, but he gave her information. Like, he told her that Kelly was going to get rid of him and keep Keanu in the game, which she said in a confessional. So I think we can believe that to be true.
Yep.
Like, he also told her that, he's told her that he would get rid of Rylie over Morgan or Mickey. Like, he's telling her whatever he feels like she needs to hear at this point. But
as Vince does.
As Vince always does. But he's also talked about, larger conversations with groups about working together long term. Like, he's really tried to plant himself as one of the judges. And like, here's another part of this that's interesting when it comes to Rachel and why Rachel might be inclined to work with Vince. I think she sort of recognizes and understands this idea of, okay, if me and Vince are just going at each other for the rest of the game, it's just going to be constantly like back and forth, like you're playing Pong, speaking of video games.
It's basically, if they keep going after each other, neither of them win.
Yes.
Eventually, they'll both end up gone, and neither of them will make it to the end. And really, they are the best players in the game right now. Rachel's only alternative then is working with people like Keanu, and that's not going to ever end up anywhere because he's loyal to Vince and he's loyal to Rylie. So Rachel really needs like a good, proper ally to get really far in the game with. And I think while Vince is still really well set up, it doesn't hurt him to have Rachel there too.
No, it doesn't. I think the best case scenario for the two of them is that they go to final 6, final 7 together, and they find a way to make it that far.
And
that
then
way,
deal with each
yeah,
other.
they can deal with each other then. And, by that point, Rachel may have more solidified allies elsewhere. Like, she does kind of sort of have Ashley again. Like, Ashley's warmed back up to her. They've had some conversations. Keanu is a total mess. Yeah, he doesn't want to vote with her, but he likes her, and that's good for something, right?
Yeah, I mean, Ashley's just a big question mark because, sure, I mean, Rachel's the HOH right now, but she won't be tomorrow. So, what happens if it's Mickey? That'll be the end of that friendship again.
Yeah, so let's just get a little bit more into Keanu and what's going on here, because this once again comes down to what Vince wants to do, because Ashley is out here telling Vince, okay, you just talk to Keanu. You guys, if you figure this out and just tell him the truth about Rylie, he'll listen to you. But it's just, once again, why Vince isn't going to do this. He's juggling all the balls. And the situation here is that if he goes to Keanu and says this, and Keanu doesn't believe him, he already doesn't believe Rachel,
Right.
then Keanu may just go back to Rylie.
Right.
And then Vince and Rylie, there's nothing there. And Vince can go to Rylie right now and tell him, okay, we're close. You got nothing to worry about with me, because there's no downside to it at this point.
No, Vince should never do this. It's a horrible mistake. And I don't think that he's going to. I mean, the real of it is that he knows Keanu can't be trusted and that he will go and blab about it. And so there's no real benefit here. He's never going to turn him against Rylie anyways. He's not the vote.
All right. Well, before we get into another couple vote scenarios here, like, here's a couple other interesting tidbits from the house, including that, let's say Rylie does go and some miracle, and we're all celebrating on these BB streets. I never thought we'd all be celebrating that Mickey is sticking around for another week, but here we are. Ashley and Will actually talked about, if Rylie goes, how Lauren could be their next target, which I thought was interesting. I don't think it necessarily has to do with her using the veto on Vince. I think it's just more having to do with the fact that she's won a couple of comps and she's somebody who's not like closely working to them. And if she's not going to give them any information about where she stands, like, what's the point of her in the game?
Absolutely. I mean, the real thing about it is that they could both probably beat Lauren at the end at this point. Lauren, while she's been dedicated to Vince and she's given proper information to him and she has made some moves with him for him, she hasn't done anything else with anyone else to earn any of their votes. Her jury management is trash.
Yeah, I don't know what her jury speech would be like. Well, one, it would probably last an hour because she would just be up there thinking about what she's going to say. But
I don't know.
yeah, it's like, are you guys going to vote for me? It would drive me so crazy. But this is the situation with her. And yeah, she's going to be a little bit of a target because of all of this. But okay, Keanu and his new alliance here. Like, this made the rounds online that, okay, we talked about that 4-person block with Catherine and Rylie and Lauren and Kelly, if you even want to call it a block. Like, they quote unquote finalize something with Vince and Keanu in here, where Keanu sort of like, it's like you're going into a soccer game and you're like, on 3, 1, 2, 3. They did like that sort of thing in the bathroom. The Quack Pack will forever be the best example of this. Whatever they did, once again, I felt really bad. Okay, I'm going to just die laughing here. It's the Quack Quack. Okay. Keanu, Keanu is in this situation where he's just like trying to get this going. Nobody else wanted to do it. And Lauren kind of bailed him out. It was so uncomfortably sad. It's just like, nobody even wants to do the hand signal with you, Keanu. Like, this should be a sign that this is not an alliance. This is not real. This is nothing. This is barely more real than the 10-person alliance you tried to create the first week.
I know.
It's just Vince, of course, in the middle of all of this. He's now in some sort of big alliance with almost every person in this house who's not named Ava at this particular point. All right, let's get into the last voting scenarios here.
Yeah.
Because we have, all right, Mickey versus Morgan. Like we said that the one between, okay, Rylie versus Mickey, that's a lot based on Ava and what Ava wants to do.
Yes.
This one is not dramatic at all, guys. I think it's pretty clear that Mickey is going to go.
Yes.
I'm not saying it's going to be unanimous, but I do think this could be a scenario where everyone just kind of spreads the information around. And then by the time you get to the voting, maybe Mickey gets like one vote or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like she'll go home in that scenario.
Yeah. Now, where it gets really bizarre is Morgan versus Rylie, because there is a big wrench that you kind of have to throw into this.
Yeah.
I think there's this assumption that once again, Ava is a swing vote here, because hypothetically, if Vince sticks with the judges and it's like, okay, you have Will, Vince, and Ashley, you know, Morgan can't vote in this situation. And then theoretically, you would have Mickey on this side. You would just need Ava, and then that would all be good, right?
Right.
But Mickey may not do this. Mickey may get rid of Morgan, who has been one of her biggest allies the entire season.
Yeah, it's very, very weird. But for whatever reason, Mickey just has this real soft spot for Rylie. I don't know what is going on with that.
It's almost like we're in the upside down of Big Brother, where everything is insane for no real reason. Like, she's talking about this through the lens of, okay, you know, Rylie is a shield. He's somebody I can hide behind. And it's like, yeah, I guess that's true for a little while, but I still feel like there are people who don't want to put Rylie on the block who would still put Mickey on the block. I just think it's strength and numbers at this point. And it's like Mickey and Morgan may not be as fully close as they once were, but it's just if Morgan gets into power as HOH, like, I think she's going to be way too nervous to put Mickey on the block because they've just had such a history together.
Morgan is not putting Mickey on the block, and that's the thing. She doesn't know for sure that Rylie wouldn't, but for sure Morgan is not going to. And in that way, I truly don't understand what's going on. Like, Rylie and Mickey are not having all these big, long, deep gaming conversations. Like, he's not with you.
Yeah, and this is why, if none of these other people in the house, you know, never anticipate this, like, I can't blame them. Like, we can criticize some of the players of Big Brother 27, and mind you, we certainly have, for a number of different things. I will never be able to criticize them for not being able to predict what Mickey is doing here, just because it doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
No.
But that's where we are with the game talk right now in the Big Brother 27 house. We'll see what happens tomorrow with the next HOH. I mean, it's pretty clear at this point there's a number of people who probably do need to win it. Like, I'm still pulling for Keanu just for the entertainment value alone.
I'm worried because I think he's going to put up Rachel. I mean, I think everyone's going to put up Rachel. I think she's truly in huge trouble next week.
This is going to be a pretty crazy night, too, I feel like, because I do think that there's going to be a full court press to try to get Ava on board. There's going to be more people pressing to Keanu, and I think it's just going to come down to how much are people going to be bold this week to get rid of somebody who is a big threat, or are they just going to play scared and we're going to be in yet another position where Rachel is one of the few people who's really that willing to be bold and put her neck out there? Yeah. But be sure to hit that subscribe button for more Big Brother 27 updates. And also, like we said earlier, we got the Survivor 49 cast now. Amazing Race is coming, and you can support us further by joining our Patreon. We have a link in the description below, and we, of course, are going to talk more about Big Brother there. Thank you guys so much. We really appreciate it, and we will see you here next time.